And good afternoon, folks. Warp103 bringing you guys another video. This time here we are looking at, I don't know, the Char 75. Again, this tank is from the loot boxes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I'm gonna have to rain down a godly firestorm on you.
And thank you for viewing this video. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon above, and then of course hitting the bell icon to get notifications when the next video drops. So here we go. All right, you see the stats and everything I said. Now again, we have two of them right here for a specific reason, because the tank has a siege mode, so it's going to act differently when it is. Now the DPM does not change in siege mode, so again, if you're looking at the DPM, it's way below both of the other two and everything else like that. Penetration's higher than one and lower than the other, so penetration is good for that. Clip damage, this is what makes this tank really dangerous, and you'll see in the battle, but we'll get to that inside of a minute and everything. So that again, the clip reload is longer than it is on the AMX, but again, you have to see it to understand really what I'm talking about. Caliber is actually a bit different, so that at 100, that's usually a 90 millimeter and everything. So that shell velocity is on par with everything else like that. You know how this works and everything else. That ammo capacity is a bit on the low side, and then we go down to the gun handling, and this is when it changes a lot. In travel mode, the gun handling is, well, just 3.8, it's okay, it's the standard for everything else of that, but the aim time is super long, and yeah. But then when you go into siege mode, it gets when you go into siege mode, it gets a lot better and everything else, so it becomes on par with the other ones. Not as good, but on par with the other ones for that. Now again, you do have more gun depression and everything else, so you can work a ridge line if you need to and everything else. That this is the other part that's really good. The speed literally makes you feel like you're not an EBR, but damn close to and everything else. That it's way faster to get in position in with this tank than it is with the AMX. Again, the EBR though, it's faster of course, but it doesn't get in position. It just keeps around its flat. So this is what makes the tank actually good, because you can see the power weight ratio is just basically ridiculous. But you can't go fast and not have a penalty. The turret transverse, meaning how fast the turret turn, is in that mode, but it's fine. You're still set to go. Armor wise, it has a bit more armor than the other two and everything else, but this is a light tank. It doesn't really matter. You get pinned by something and, well, you're smoked. You know, HE round and poof, you're gone. Health wise and everything else, it's on par with the rest and everything else. Engine is the reliability, track, all of this stuff is in line with everything else. So again, that is good. And then you go down to the camo, the stats that really matter a lot for light tank and everything else. Travel mode camo, it's okay, well, not the best, but when you get to the stationary camo again and you're in siege mode, it gets a lot better and it gets on par with everything else. After firing, again, it's the same things for that. So your view range, another thing that's really good, is like it's 370. I was wishing for 380, but 370 is workable and everything else like that. But the downfall is your shell cost, how much it costs to run this tank is oof. Let's get into the battle. All right, now again, I'm testing out the tank and everything else so that I don't know anything about it and everything individually. I was sitting there like, hey, what's this siege mode thingy and everything else so that. So I'm like, oh, you can see literally how fast it is and everything else that I can go in and out of siege mode and still didn't lose enough momentum not to get to this bush before the guy on that side was able to get into the bush. So even me doing mixed stupid stuff, I still got into the bush first. Now, let me give you the setup. Okay, crew. no gold, no food. And this tank is powerful, but it has a high skill cap, meaning that you have to be really good to get the most out of it. And if you're not, you're going to get oofed. This tank is, as you've seen already and so that, very fast. It gets better when it's in siege mode, meaning accuracy for the gun and everything else like that. What makes this more dangerous is this here. Your HE. If you load an HE clip and go after a light tank or a tank destroyer that has no armor, you will be able to clip out tier 8s and tier 8 tank destroyers, tier 8 medium tanks, tier 8 light tanks, and certain tier 9 light tanks. Certain ones. Depends on the hit points. But again, it's like a pom-pom pum. Oof. Again. Accuracy. Oh, it's supposed to be not really that good, but again, with its speed, it's going to rush into position. So if you don't have an EBR to counter it, again, it's going to get to every position first. It'll be better than the ELC because the ELC would have to get into position to make so it can be like, oh, you can't see me. This one's going to get there first, see the ELC coming in, and basically ELC go bye-bye if I decided, or anybody decide to go in and try to kill the ELC. Now it's clip. Again, it's straight up ridiculous. Now I'm gonna go into this bush right here. Again, trying to spot for the team and everything else of that. Now I'm gonna catch one here because I'm basically in the way of another tank. I'm not spotted. Yeah, I took one for the team because, you know, even though I took no damage, but again, that aim wasn't at me. It was actually at the leopard. And notice what that char did to the leopard. Again, imagine if I didn't eat one of the shots for the leopard. Like, oof. So again, this tank is going to be very powerful, but you have to know what you're doing. Now, granted, I am not a light tank player. I've said this plenty of times before. I'm okay in them, but I'm not really good in them and everything else like that. Again, look. Go into the right mode. If I aim right here, I can pin them all right now. But again, I made a mistake thinking, okay, I'm going to aim for the side of the turret when he turns to the side. But it would have been better off for me to actually fire at the lower place when I did the first time. But okay. Okay. And watch this again. Typical autoloader. Only then you can't see it. Again, better than the AMX because literally it's going to get into position fast. It has good view range. 10 better. You know, 370. That's pretty decent. You can make that work. And just imagine if you're using, again, like I said, gold bond equipment. You're using the Epic Crew. You just have this loaded for I'm just going to go in and blast everybody mode. What's going to happen to most people that have 1,000 hit points? You load HE. How are you going to feel? Now again, this charge should be able to eliminate the ELC, but he's going to miss. I didn't miss him. So let's go to the post game on this, and we'll talk a little bit more. Again, first battle, I've played battles after this and everything else like that, and I've used a clip of HE on light tank and basically just destroyed them. Just absolutely just wrecked their face, and they went lightly armored medium tanks get hit in the side, and they're going to be like oof. Tank destroyers that is lightly armored, they're going to be going oof from a hidden menace that can come around and basically bushwhack you. Again, now AMX can bushwhack you too, but it takes a bit to do. This ain't gonna have a problem. It's just really good. Again, take it from a non-light tank player that ain't got good skills versus a person that probably has a lot of skills, and they're gonna say, thank you. Again, I would have had 11 penetrations if I didn't go for the side turret of the dudes for that and just wait for the bottom plate. But since I didn't, that's why I only have 8. So again, good tank, bordering on broken if you have all the goodies. So it is what it is. This is Warp103 saying warp out, have fun. I'll catch you guys on the next one.